babes, welcome back to another Lash with Me tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to get this hybrid wispy doll eye set, and just look how beautiful this set looks. So I'm going to teach you guys the easy and fast way on how to do this set. I know we try to overcomplicate it, but I want to try to make it as simple as possible. So today's products, I'm going to be using my pink lash sensitive tape. I'm also going to be using Alyssa eyelashes and the 0.03 cashmere lashes in CC Curl. I'm also going to be using the London Lash Royal Bond Glue, the London Lash Primer, and my friend Alyssa's Super Bonder. And for the tweezers, this is the first time me talking about them, but I'm going to be using my own collection, and I still don't have the names for them, but they are coming very, very soon. I'm also using my Wash Me Baby Lash Shampoo. All these products are going to be linked down below, so you guys will have easy access to getting all these products. So you guys already know the deal. You guys know that I have to wash my clients' lashes. This is the first thing I do, and trust me when I say this is going to help with retention. Sometimes your clients say that they come in with clean lashes, but look at this. Look at all the foundation that I just cleaned off, and even though it was on her face, she still had some on her lashes. So even though they look clean, you have to ensure that you're taking the proper necessary steps to make sure that those lashes are clean. So the reason why I wanted to show you guys is because, again, you don't know if they're clean or not. So I took the time to make sure that those lashes are clean. And trust me when I say that just taking a minute or 2 minutes out of your lashing time to make sure that those lashes are clean is going to change everything for you guys. I know sometimes you guys just want to get in there and start lashing, but trust me when I say that if you are struggling with retention and if you are wondering why your lashes are not sticking to, or the glue is sticking to those lashes, it's because of that. It's because the lashes are dirty, and even though they look clean, I'm telling you, they're not clean. So just by you taking that extra time to make sure that they are clean, it's going to change everything for you guys. So you guys already know the deal. We're going to rinse her off with regular water. You guys can use saline solution, but I just like to use regular water. It doesn't really matter. So now we're going to fan her off, make sure that her lashes are fully dry, and then we're going to get into placing the eye pads. So if you guys don't know, or if you guys are new here, the way that I like to place my eye pads is not on the waterline. So with the eye pads, I want to make sure that I'm grabbing the tips of the bottom lashes and not placing it right underneath where the lashes are, if that makes sense. So with the tape, I'm going to go right above that and actually use the tape as what is going to be holding it down. So you don't want the eye pads to be holding on the lashes. You just want to have some sort of barrier there, and then you'll go in with the tape, and that's pretty much going to secure everything. So I am using my own pink sensitive tape, and then you can find this tape on my website. I do have a white version, and I do have the large and the small, so I give you guys options. And ever since I've started using this tape, I have not used the blue Next Care sensitive tape. And if you guys don't know, that was like my favorite, and it was the OG for a long time. But ever since I found this tape, I have not used nothing else, because one, it's just as good, and two, it's more affordable than buying the blue Next Care sensitive tape, and it will hold down those lashes. With this tape, you could pretty much do whatever you want. You can lift the eye pads, you can lash in layers, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so we are doing a doll eye wispy for this set. So we are going to be doing 2 different numbers to create the spikes, and then also the shorter lengths. So what I'm writing down at the top, those are going to be what you're going to be using for the spikes. So for the spikes, starting off in the inner corners, we're going to be doing 13, 14, 15, 16, and then we're going to bring it back down to 15, 14. So I like to do 1 length shorter in the inner corner to kind of give it a difference between the inner and the outers. So for the shorter lengths, starting in the inner corner, we're going to do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we're going to bring it back down to 11 and 10. So again, since we are doing a doll eye, you want to have a bigger section right in the center. So pretty much all of the middle of the eye, that's where you're going to focus the longer lengths. Okay, so pretty much what I did is I ended up taping her eyelids up to pretty much lift those lashes off the eye pads. That way it helps so you don't get lashes stuck on the eye pads. So if you guys do struggle with lashes getting stuck, then try using this technique. But also remember, when doing this, don't open her eyes completely. You want to make sure that her eyes are still fully shut. What you'll pretty much do is tape up to lift her lashes off the iPad. You don't want to open her eyes, you just want to lift them off the iPad, and this is just going to help them hover over the iPads and not be straight down resting on the iPad. So that's going to help with you not getting lashes glued to the iPad. So try this out next time you're struggling with that. Okay, so I know I've been rambling and I haven't really been talking about what I'm doing. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm grabbing about 10 little lashes, and we're using the same lashes that we're gonna use for the filler, and we're gonna be doing spikes. So that's pretty much the easiest way that I could explain on how to make a spike. Is you grab a couple of volume lashes, say about 8 to 10 little lashes, and instead of fanning them out, what you're doing is pulling them off the strip, and then you're going to dip them in your glue and then place them on the lash. As simple as that. I know we try to overcomplicate it when it comes to spikes, but if you guys do struggle, then I highly recommend for you guys to go check out my online Wispy course. So definitely go check that out if you guys do want to learn more in detail and step by step how to do this process, because it's pretty much similar to this, but I go into detail exactly how to do every single spike and how to make a spike and how to perfect a wispy set. So definitely go check out my online Wispy course. So just to jump back into what I'm doing, I'm pretty much placing a spike every other 4-5 lashes. And just to keep it simple for you guys, I'm pretty much going to be placing a spike every 4 to 5 lashes. If you guys want to make that spike a little bolder, what you guys can do is you guys can place a spike underneath the spike that you guys just placed or right next to it. So if you guys want more of a chunky, bolder, spiky look, then I recommend to do that. Or you guys can pretty much grab more lashes and create chunkier spikes. But pretty much what I'm doing is I'm placing 2 spikes next to each other, and it'll give me a more bolder, chunkier spike look. And then I'll be placing another spike every 4 to 5 lashes to kind of give it a little more extra wispiness, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna be doing, and I feel like the more I try to explain it, the more complicated I'll make it. Okay, just to clarify what it is I said, because I was hearing myself and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so if you guys were to start right in the middle, because it is a doll eye, if you guys were to start off right in the middle, place your first spike there. You guys can place a spike underneath that one or place another spike right next to it to give that spike a chunkier, bolder look. If you guys don't want to do that, then obviously just create chunkier or bolder spikes, and then every 3 to 4 lashes I'll go and place another spike. So that's pretty much what I'm doing when it comes to placing my spikes. Is I'll place a spike and then I'll place another one next to it, and then I'll count 3 to 4 lashes over and then place another one. But also remember, when you are doing this process, you want to be going back and forth between both eyes. You don't want to be working on one eye at a time, because then if you'll go back to the other eye and try to do that on the other eye, it'll be a little more complicated. So what you do on one eye, you'll do on the other side. That way you could kind of keep up with the same process and try to pretty much mimic both eyes. You want to make sure that both eyes look symmetrical, and even though they won't look like twins, then at least they'll be some kind of related, you know? So that's pretty much what I'm doing. You guys already know the drill. I'm going to put some cute little music here so you guys can enjoy the process. I'm pretty much just going to be going back and forth between both eyes and just making sure that we are placing the spikes. So you always want to make sure you place the spikes first, and then we'll go in with the filler last. You don't want to go in with the shorter lengths and then try to come back and do the spikes, because then it'll kind of just throw everything off. So again, do the spikes first and then I'm going to put some music, and then once I'm done with that, then we'll jump back in and start placing the shorter lengths to create that fullness that we are going for.
You don't mean nothing to me. E-boys like you every dinner. I don't believe what you preach. You're just a rookie beginner. Hang out with boys in the street. Like that will make you a winner. I don't believe what I see. Why you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silverware. Thinking you're so bold, but all you are is unaware. Walk around like everything belongs to you. Talk to me like I'm a young stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than silverware. Why you calling me honey? Why you show off your money? Wave it like it's a tissue. Baby, this is your issue. I'm not falling for bullshit. If you like me, then say it. You don't get that I see through this facade that surrounds you. Growing up takes time, so don't you waste mine. You and me ain't right. Why you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silverware. Thinking you're so bold, but all you are is unaware. Walk around like everything belongs to you. Talk to me like I'm a young stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than silverware. I'm over you, so done with you. I'm over you, so done with you. Why you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silverware. Thinking you're so bold, but all you are is unaware. Walk around like everything belongs to you. Talk to me like I'm a young stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than silverware.
Okay, I forgot to mention in the beginning that the top numbers that you see at the top of the iPad, that is what you're going to be using for the spikes. I know a lot of people still confuse it or don't understand the numbers on the maps, and pretty much that just means the lengths that you're using. It doesn't mean that you're doing 16 for a fan or 16 for if you know what I mean, because I do get questions like that, and I completely understand. It's a lot harder to understand, especially when you're so new into this and still don't understand how to map or don't understand why you need so many different numbers. And just to simplify it for you guys, the reason why I do so many numbers is because that's what's going to create a difference, and that's what's going to create a flow throughout the whole set. So you don't want to be jumping in numbers, especially if you are doing like a very simple doll eye set. I know that when doing a wispy set, it's a lot easier to add so many numbers and kind of just mix it up and it'll still look good. But when doing a gradual doll eye like this, you definitely don't want to be jumping in numbers. You still want to create that gradual growth throughout the entire set instead of jumping from like a 12 to a 16 in spikes. You could just tell right away. So you kind of want to just gradually go up in spikes, gradually go up in filler, and still create that overall doll eye effect. So even though we are going for a wispy, messy look, you still want it to look like a doll eye. So the reason why I do so many lengths and so many numbers is because, again, it will just create evenness and flow, and it will just make it look like a doll eye. Instead of doing 3 different numbers, like doing 11, 12, 11, that's not going to look like a doll eye. It's not even going to look like a set. It's just going to look like you just threw lashes on there, you know? So adding more lengths, adding more numbers, and just gradually going up and then gradually bringing it back down and creating that flow. And even if you were to be doing a cat eye, again, you don't want to be doing like 10, 12 or 12, 15. You want to, 10, 11, 12, you want to gradually go up. So I know I've been talking about something completely different, but I just wanted to let you guys know that no matter what set you are doing, even if it's just a wispy, you still want to gradually go up in numbers and keep that flow going. You want to make sure that it looks like a doll eye and not look like just a complete hot mess. Unless you're going for that look, then go for it, but this is what works for me. This is pretty much what keeps my sets looking like my sets, pretty much my signature style. And I know you guys want to learn how to do it and you guys want to master it, so just keep it simple. Don't be jumping up and down in numbers unless you really want to, then go for it. But just to simplify it, that's what works for me, and that's what keeps my sets looking like a doll eye and looking like a cat eye. Okay, so pretty much what I did is I ended up taping up her lashes, or the spikes that we already placed, using my pink sensitive tape. And pretty much what I did is I rubbed the tape on the back of my hand and removed the stickiness from it, because if you were just to tape her lashes up like that, those lashes are going to get stuck. Even though it is a sensitive tape, it will not yank at them, but you want to make sure that they're not super sticky. So pretty much what I'm doing now is I am just going in and removing the bottom layer, or all the lashes that are exposed. That way I could get in there and pretty much fill her up. The reason why I recommend to do the tape back layer, or the tape back method, pretty much what I'm doing here and showing you guys here, is because lashing the bottom layer is what's going to create fullness and density. And I know I get a lot of questions on how to create fullness and density, and this is my number one trick. Lashing the bottom layer is going to create the illusion that you pretty much lashed her fully, completely, like 100%, even though you didn't. And even though that's exactly what I did, I lashed her 100%, you still want to make sure that even though you don't have the time for it, at least by lashing the bottom layer, that's going to create the illusion that it is fully lashed. So pretty much what I'm doing here now is I'm going in with the lashes that I use for the spikes, but now I'm going in with the shorter length. So the numbers that you see all on the bottom, like 10, 11, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, that's what I'm going to be doing now. I am just going to be filling her up using the filler lengths, which are the same lashes. The only difference is that now we are going to be using fans. So I'm using, again, the 0.03 lashes, and even those are mega volume lashes, you could still use them to create regular volume lashes. So I'm doing about 10D to 8D lashes, so I'm keeping them very light. I didn't want to go too heavy handed because we are going to be creating a hybrid set. So we're not going to be doing like a regular classic with fan mixture. We're going to be doing kind of like a wet set look. So instead of doing classics, we're going to be using the same lashes that we used to create the fans to create spikes, to give it a fuller classic look, more like a wet set look. I know it sounds a little complicated, but first let me just fill her up using the little fans that we're making, and we're going to fill up all the bottom layer. And then after we're done with this, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what it is that I'm talking about, but pretty much let's fill her up. I'm going to put some music here for you guys, and then we'll jump into creating the classic.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on
Okay, honestly, guys, you guys don't need to lash this way. You guys don't need to do the tape back method if you find it very complicated. The reason why I do this is because I don't like to sit there and struggle with the lashes I already placed. Sometimes it tends to get in the way, so pretty much just by pulling up the lashes and getting those out of the way, it kind of just helps to get in there a lot quicker, isolate a lot faster. So sometimes it is harder to get in the inner and outer corners. So pretty much what I like to do is I like to lash whatever I can, and then I'll finish out the inner and outer corners once I'm done lashing as much as I can. So pretty much what I'm doing here is I'm going to end up lashing the inner corners, but again, we're going for like a hybrid look. So instead of using classic lashes, I ended up using the same lashes, the volume lashes, to create my classic lashes. So pretty much you're gonna do a similar concept like how you would do a spike. So you pull off the lashes as you were making a fan, but instead of fanning it, then you'll just dip it in the glue. But for these ones, I was pulling about 5 little lashes. I wasn't trying to create such bold classic lashes using volume lashes, and it's similar concept to doing a wet style or a wet set or the mascara look. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I do have a video here in my membership on how to create a wet set look, so I definitely recommend for you check out that video so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So pretty much I'll pull off a couple lashes, dip it in the glue, the same concept as how I were to be doing a spike. So for the inner corners, I did classic fan, and remember when I mean by classic, I mean doing a little spike, and I'm going to be doing the lengths that are pretty much on the bottom row, so 8, 9, 10, 11. And once I get down to pretty much the center, then I'm going to be doing only placing classic lashes, because again, we already did fans all throughout the bottom layer, so I'm going to be placing classic lashes all on the top or whatever was left to kind of give it more of a softer look. Again, we're not going for a full volume look, and again, you can use this style to do volume, mega volume, classic. You could do whatever it is or your heart desires. So the map is here so you guys can use to your liking, but just to recreate this look, then again, we're going for a hybrid soft look. So instead of doing it my way of using volume lashes to create a spike or a classic lash, then you can do just regular classic lashes to create that hybrid look. But that's pretty much what I was going for. I kind of wanted a little more fullness and boldness compared to a classic lash, but I didn't want to do like a 0.18 or a 0.20 because again, I'm using 0.03 lashes, so I still wanted to keep it very soft, very light. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. That's simple as that. And now, as you guys can see, I'm just going in and filling up the rest. Also, I do have a separate video on when I did a hybrid wispy cat eye. I do have a similar video where I did the similar concept of me doing only fans on the bottom and classic lashes at the top. The reason why I like to do this for my hybrid sets, and I notice that I do this for all my hybrid sets, sometimes I'll mix it up here and there, but naturally I gravitate to putting only fans on the bottom and then classic lashes on the top layers, and that pretty much helps it give it more of a softer look. I notice that when I place classic lashes on the bottom layer or all throughout, kind of just mix it up, it kind of gives it a more textured look. So if you are going for a textured look, then go that route. But at least for me, I kind of like to have it blended. I don't like it when I can see a classic lash pointing out from underneath, because then when you try to brush it up, it doesn't blend. So that is the reason why I like to do volume lashes all on the bottom layer, because I like for it to look blended and put together, and I don't have to be sitting there playing with it trying to get that classic lash to go up. So that is my point of view. That is why I like to do things this way. You guys don't have to. You guys can do classic fan. You can do more classics than fans, or more fans than classics, depending on the look you are going for. But again, I was trying to do a little more of a softer look but still give it some fullness. That doesn't make sense, but that is the look I was going for. So I hope you guys liked today's video, and I hope I pretty much taught you guys some differences in why I like to do things certain ways. But you guys don't have to do it my way. This is just how I like to do things. So that is pretty much it for today's video. I'm gonna finish filling her up, and you guys can pretty much take it from here. So I'm gonna finish off putting some music. And I'm also going to finish the set using the Alyssa Eyelashes Super Bonder. You guys can use any Super Bonder. I love to use Super Bonder over misting, and this will pretty much just ensure that that glue completely dries. It's going to make your retention last so much better. So I highly recommend for you guys to get a Super Bonder. Any Super Bonder or sealer will do just fine. I pretty much go back and forth between a couple of brands, and they all pretty much do the same job. So that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
You think I'm crazy, but I know I am. Losing your patience, I already have. Don't try to change me, I'm just the way I am. Don't try to save me, cause I can't be saved. I keep falling under all this pressure, falling under ever since I met you. Baby, I'm no good, but you know better, better. I got all these voices on repeat, singing me to sleep. Better off waking me close, keep calling each other. You might think I'm slipping in too deep. This is what I need. Better off waking me close, keep calling each other friends. Calling each other friends. Don't try to please me, not sure that you can. Don't get me started, babe, cause this is the end. I keep falling under all this pressure, falling under ever since I met you. Baby, I'm no good, but you know better, better. I got all these voices on repeat, singing me to sleep. Better off waking me close, keep calling each other. You might think I'm slipping in too deep. This is what I need. Better off waking me close, keep calling each other friends. Calling us friends, calling us friends, calling us friends. Calling us friends, calling us friends. Oh, baby. Calling us friends, calling us friends, calling us friends. Calling us friends, calling us friends. I'm by myself, but never alone. I got my friends when I'm on my own. Calling us friends, calling us friends, calling us friends.